main man, Big Wayne, Diese to the L. Portland line for another video. I know it's early. But anyway, so trying to figure out what angle I want to do this. So got a hit from my homeboy Chase. Shout out to Chase. Wanted me to talk about these college playoffs. Now I'll be honest with you, I had life's been kind of crazy, so I ain't got to watch as much college football as I like. So I just been kind of seeing it. So I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I like to keep it real now, keep it real. But I want to talk about these college football playoffs. Talking about 8 teams. I don't think it need to be 8 teams. I really don't. I think I need to keep it at 4. And let me tell you why. Because check it out. So, and I'm kind of doing this off the top of my head. I ain't do my homework like I could have, but just being honest. But it's off the top of my head. But anyway, so let me ask you this. Y'all ever seen the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Y'all remember it was only like a handful of them, right? Like about a handful of them. I was like maybe 5, 6 of them. About 5 of them. About 5. You know what I mean? Get that golden ticket. Everybody get one, but only 4 people got a golden ticket. And they were special. Why? Because it was only 4 spots. Everybody wanted to be there, but everybody don't get to go to prosperity. Everybody don't get prosperity. Everybody don't do that. So you only got them 4 tickets, and that's why it was so special. That's why it was so prestige. That's why every chocolate bar meant something, because you just didn't know what it was gonna cost you. And some of them got the ticket, some of them didn't. And I feel like the playoffs is the same way. And if you put 8 teams in there, some people talk about 16, some people talking about 8. You put 8 in there, and I feel like it's gonna be, you're gonna have too much of a good thing, and it's gonna devalue the season. That's why those games mean so much. They mean so much harder. They mean so much. You can't take a game off. Every week means something, because if you lose, that could potentially be your whole season. It could be a wrap. You know what I mean? So, and you put 8 teams in there, all of a sudden, they might ease up a little bit. This might take a little away from the season. Some people might like, you know what? Because they do it in NBA too. Some people do it in NBA and NFL. This is like I ain't gonna say it's a problem, but they do it in the pros. They're like, well, I don't really watch in the season. I watch the playoffs. Well, courtesy of how this thing's set up, now you got to watch the college season because you get them big games. You see what I mean? So it means something. It means so much more. All right. So, and if you put 8 teams in, I feel like it's taken away from some of that season excitement. It's like every game is a playoff, especially in big rivalry games, because it can like ruin you something. And I don't want to hear talking about the Big 12 or Big 12, because the Big 12, there's some teams that should be in there, but they lost to Purdue. Ohio State lost to Purdue. And everybody's talking about Michigan. Well, Michigan, hell, they lost to, got steamrolled by Ohio State. Got the M, the yellow, and a couple of them little stars on their helmets beat to sleep. I'm talking about the Ohio State put foots on them jokers. Lord have mercy. And I was going for Michigan. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I wasn't gonna crazy the way I thought Michigan was gonna win, but wrong was I. So yeah, Ohio State ran them jokers off the field. If it was a prize fight, they'd have called it. But anyway, so in games like that, it's gonna mean something. So I feel like if you getting toasted from end zone to end zone, then you don't need to be in the playoffs. If you losing to Buckhorn High School, then you don't deserve to go to the playoffs. If you losing to if you can beat teams here and there, and you go doing good, and you turn around and lose to St. Jude's Hospital School with a Blind, then you don't need to be in the playoffs. Win your games. Or talking about the ones that are undefeated, well, schedule harder games. Look at Notre Dame. They ain't got no conference. They ain't nothing. They just out here living wild and free. But they schedule tough games. And now look at them, undefeated. Or be undefeated. Now I know that's a tall order, but hell, if you ain't gonna schedule tough games, at least go undefeated. Or win convincingly. And even the big games, because I guess everybody schedule a hard game here and there, then beat them. And another reason I don't want an 18 playoff. Another reason I don't like this 18 playoff, because I'm scared. I'm going to tell you what I'm scared of. I'm scared of the committee, because nobody want to say it. But I'm going to say it. The homeboy going to say it, because I call it how I see it. That's the name of the show. I call it how I see it. But I think it's a lot of bias that go on with the SEC. Now, I think the Paul Feinbaums of the world and the ESPNs, I think they really cater heavy to the SEC. And I feel like if they had their way, they'd have about 3 teams out the SEC, and I don't think that's right. Because if you had some people out there, they'd have Alabama. Well, Alabama need to be there. They need to be there. They'd put Alabama in there, LSU be in there, Georgia be in there, and we just don't need all that SEC love in there. Now, SEC is great, and that's cool, but we don't need to see all that. That's why y'all play each other. Come out. You know what I mean? So I don't want to see too much of that, and that be my problem with that. Bringing too much SEC in there. We don't need all that SEC. Put some other people in there. But that's why I wanted the 4. That's why I wanted the 4 teams only. So, and it's gonna make them bang them games that much harder, and it's gonna elevate the competition. And if you feel like the competition's gonna waver, if you wait, said that all the way wrong. If you feel, I feel like 8 teams is gonna debut that. Because that's too much of a good thing. That'd be too much of a good thing. And just like the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, that's why them tours are so special. Because everybody didn't get to go. And if everybody going to the playoffs, is the playoffs really special? It don't mean nothing. That's the problem with the All-Star game in the NBA. Because, you know, it seemed like everybody was going. And all these super teams. That's another topic. But that's why I think the super team thing is kind of overkill. Because, you know what I mean? You see them all the time anyway. So what's the point? That's why they changed the whole All-Star thing, because it was becoming flawed because everybody trying to play with each other. And that's the same thing with the playoff. If everybody gonna go, then what's the point of the season? Not just tune in the season. Top 8. I mean, you talking about 8 teams? You gonna put everybody in there? Then what's that matter? You gonna have teams with 3 losses in there, some teams that don't need to be there. So no. That's going to copy that magic. Now, I'm not saying the best team is going to win. It's not a perfect way to do it, but I think this is as good as it's going to get. Because the best team ain't going to win. I understand that. But shoot, the best team don't always win in football either. The best team don't always win in the college thing. But it is what it is. Don't try to overthink it. You know what I mean? Now, that other little system, that poll thing, that was terrible. So they had to do something about that. But at least it's in the play. It's in the hands. It's in the hands where it need to be at. It's on the right track. They can kind of play a little bit. So fight like hell for them 4 spots. And that's my take on that. So anyway, that's my take. Keep it to 4 teams. Don't try to do this because I feel like you're gonna take value away from the regular season. So love, peace, Afro Grease. I'm about this thing. Yeah.